I like to laugh, you like to laugh, and I'm sure people in Saudi Arabia like to laugh as well. Not only that, they deserve to laugh. So recently, the Riyadh Comedy Festival was announced in Saudi Arabia. It's a big list of comedians here. Here's the list of comedians. And notice that these are not like the little fries, bro. These are like some like A-lister comedians, bro. Yeah, you got some notable guys like Aziz Ansari. You got fucking Hannibal Brewis, Bill Burr, Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle's like headlining it. Pete Davidson, Joe Coy, Bobby Lee, Kevin Hart. Like big list of people. Now, I have a list of specific comedians that look like scumbags for attending this festival. We're gonna get to in a second, and they are scumbags for a reason. Before we get to that list, like, what's the big deal? It's politics, kind of. I guess it is. I don't know. I guess it's politics. I don't know how to fucking say it. But a lot of these comedians sold out, and that's why I like pulled from this list of people. Like a lot of them literally by definition sold out. The fest is ran by Saudi Arabia's General Entertainment Authority, aka the GEA. The GEA is state ran, and the state has a mission to complete by 2030. And that mission is basically like people around the world, like we're not as bad as you think. Their mission is to basically look not as bad as they actually are, if that makes sense. Like I know you think this country is ran by bad people, and I know this country has like kind of like legal slaves, and like we hate gay people and women don't have rights and shit like that, right? This is a country that is basically trying to like overshadow all like the bullshit that they got going on, by trying to make it seem like, oh yeah, we be partying up in this bitch. We got your favorite comedians up in this bitch. Look, they're making such good statements about this country. And Bill Burr was doing exactly that, which we'll get to in a second. So yeah, they're throwing huge events like this, and like many more are being planned to, again, just like hide the fact that like King Salman, the dude that like owns the country, is a piece of shit, allegedly. And you may be telling yourself, like, Vizzy, the people of Saudi Arabia, they do deserve like this form of art that is comedy. They deserve comedians, which I agree, right? Like I said in the intro, they deserve this art to come to their country. However, if it's not ran by the GEA, right? If it was like a promoter, like a random promoter, like, hey, here's a comedy show with these comedians, that's different, because this being the GEA, it's essentially tied directly in with the royal family. So the GEA is ran by Turkey. I don't know how to say his name. Turkey Alashik. I don't know how to say his name. Whatever. Who the fuck is this guy, to put it in dummy? He runs GEA, and Vision 2030 is driven by Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, which is like the son of the alleged scumbag that runs the fucking country. So these comedians are like directly supporting the dickhead that runs Saudi Arabia, if that makes sense. Am I making it easy to understand, or am I just like butchering this shit? So yeah, they're directly supporting the royal family, who essentially make the laws that say like, fuck women, fuck the LGBT and people in general, because again, they own slaves without owning them. What's going on is there's like migrants that go into Saudi Arabia and become exploited in the form of forced labor. So they're like slaves without being slaves, allegedly. They're like taking advantage of like immigrants that come to the country. And the final thing I have to mention is most hijackers during 9/11 were Saudi nationals. Now, there are like ongoing allegations that certain individuals with ties to Saudi offices helped two hijackers stateside. I'm not saying Saudi Arabia directed the attacks, but there are allegations roaming around that they were involved in some way, shape, or form, which is important to note. And obviously, depending on who's watching this, they're going to be like, oh, it was an inside job, it's not a big deal, blah, blah, blah. But whatever, like, it is what it is. With all that being said, why are comedians attending? Why is this huge list of comedians attending this show? Money. All right. The Saudi Arabia, they got money, and a lot of it, buddy. Like, these motherfuckers got bread, and they are using it, because some of these comedians are getting paid from hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars. Like Dave Chappelle headlining, I wouldn't be surprised if he got a few milli for this shit. Before getting to that specific list of comedians that I want to like talk about, we have to set the stage a little bit more and give you a little bit more context. I'm gonna butcher her name. Her name is Atsuko Akutsu. Let me try it. Atsuko Okatsuka. We're just gonna call her Atsuko so I don't keep fucking her name up. But she basically went on Twitter and posted this, and what this seems to be is like her manager or something sending this email to her. And it reads, "Hi team, per our conversation attached and below, please find to offer Atsuko to perform at the Riyadh Comedy Festival. The Riyadh Comedy Festival is being produced by Sela Company, a leading event producer in Saudi Arabia, renowned for organizing Riyadh season. Offers are coming in through blank. Fee," then this is like a censored like amount that was offered, "for you to perform at a 600 to 900 seater. You would do 60 to 75 minutes. They would also provide 2 hotel rooms plus local ground. We are responsible for flights," which is weird because these are billionaires that are trying to fucking like hire them and they can't take care of the fucking flights, but okay. "There will need to be a reasonable number of posts to support the date, both story and grid." This email is basically saying you're getting this amount, this is the deets, and where they're expecting you to promote the event. This is essentially an endorsement as they have global marketing for the festival. By that, they mean like that list of comedians. It's not just Americans. Like homie in chat said, it's like UK fellas. You got people like all around the world, like big comedians from around the world attending this. Now, this is the thing that really had people like oohing and eyeing. There's content restrictions. Basically, they're saying you can't talk about X, Y, and Z. You can't talk about the Saudi royal family, the legal system, government. Like you can't talk about no like exploitative forced working conditions. You can't talk about like how they're against LGBT and actually like jailing people, imprisoning people for fucking kissing boys being boys or kissing girls being girls. Okay, they are not allowed to talk about shit that is extremely problematic with the country itself. The reason why this is a big deal is because there are a handful of comedians, which again I'm going to talk about in a second, that their whole brand, a specific one I'm talking about, his whole brand is I don't do restrictions, I say what I want, fuck you, you can't tell me what to do or what to say, yet he's in this fucking festival. We'll get to it in a second. What this tells us is on top of this being blood money, there is heavy censorship rules. Now, before I give you guys the list of comedians I want to shit talk, I want to give you a list of comedians that I respect heavily, because these are comedians that are confirmed that got invited to this festival but declined. This is Atsuko. Then we have Shane Gillis. He also confirmed that he denied playing the festival. We got Stavros Halkias. This guy is funny as fuck. He runs a podcast called Come Town. Very, very happy he didn't like accept the offer because he's openly like pro-human. Really cool guy. He's so funny. He's like edgy at the same time. I like this guy a lot. Leslie Liao. I think I said her name right. But these are the comedians that did not sell out. These are comedians that are confirmed, that got invited, but said basically fuck your blood money. So much respect to those guys. And whoever else slipped through the cracks that I didn't mention, this is just like the handful of comedians that I found. By the way, now's a good time to mention, I only know surface level shit in the comedy scene. So if I get any information wrong, I apologize in advance. I just found this shit interesting and I wanted to give you guys the information I have. Now, here's a list of comedians that I consider to be losers. If there's no comedian on the list, but playing the show, just assume I'm not too surprised that they accepted the blood money, because by my knowledge they can care less about what's going on in the world since they don't really commentate on shit like this. They probably just want to chase the bag, even though a lot of these comedians don't really need to anymore, even if it means being a literal jester for some royal family. Starting off with Wayne Brady. Why is this surprising? Because he came out as pan and he is a heavy ally for the LGBT. Hopefully they don't catch him kissing boys, because then he's fucked. Jessica Kirson, same shit, openly gay. And it is worth noting that the bread she made from the show, she claimed to have donated to a human rights group. Don't know her, so I can't tell you if she's trustworthy or not, nor can I tell you if she's funny or not. This one broke my heart, for sure. Aziz Ansari. Now, him, I actually pulled a clip. He actually went on SNL. He did like a whole thing on SNL 8 years ago, basically shit talking Trump. And I just have to show you like this one small clip so you can see how his participation is just not only contradicting, but heartbreaking.
Because if you look at our country's history, change doesn't come from presidents. Change comes from large groups of angry people. And if day one is any indication, you are part of the largest group of angry people I have ever seen.
You can see why this is like a heartbreaking thing, man. It's a heartbreaking fucking thing. And he's got a big angry group going after him now. Yeah. The next two folks, very, very surprising. I might butcher their name. We got Maz Jobrani and Omid Jalili. I'm sorry, I know I butchered their names, but both of them are Iranian protesters and are very outspoken about women's freedom in the Middle East. So very, very strange to see these guys on the fucking festival. Pete Davidson, his father was a firefighter that died on 9/11. And for the final two that's getting the most heat, Dave Chappelle. That little rant I went on earlier was directed at Dave Chappelle because, again, you can't tell me what to do. Fuck trans people. I say what I want and I will never be censored. He's been doing that for the past how many fucking years? And I guess he will never be censored unless you're Saudi Arabia and are giving me a big fat bag. Then I'll consider then I will bend my knee for this bag that I definitely don't need because I'm rich as fuck. It is what it is. Now, mind you, I know I'm sounding like I'm like on my high horse right now, but we're going to talk about that later because I have this self-awareness that if you're dangling a shitload of life-changing money, it is hard to deny that. Like, bro, I don't think I'd ever suck a dick, but if somebody dangled a few $100, but best believe I'm giving the sloppiest dome that you will ever receive in your entire life for a few $100. And finally, the guy that is getting the most shit, because we have clips here as well, Bill Burr. This hypocritical scumbag. Let's go ahead and listen to a podcast clip that he did some time ago. This is going to be very interesting. Very, very interesting. Take a listen.
Oh, by the way, did you see that there was a couple of, what was it? Usher, Beyonce, and Mariah Carey actually did private New Year's gigs for $1 million. Did New Year's gigs for Gaddafi's kids. Can you fucking believe that? How much fucking money do you need to make? You know? You're going to take a gig where you're going to go dance like a goddamn fucking clown for a mass murderer's kids?
I'm sure you guys are seeing the problem here.
Then you take that fucking blood money.
Blood money. His words.
Stick it in your bank account. Go buy yourself some fucking glitter or whatever the hell you do when you're a goddamn singer. Buy some more streamers to hang on your fucking mic stand. And then when you get busted, you try to play it off like you had no idea who Gaddafi is.
This shit pissed me off, bro. This shit pissed me off. How the fuck are you talking about Usher, Beyonce? I think he mentioned Mariah Carey. How are you talking this much passionate amount of shit for you to say this recently? Listen to this clip.
The Royals loved the show. Everyone was happy. The people that were doing the festival were thrilled. And yeah, it was just this great positive thing. And I got to tell you, just to be a part of that was fucking amazing. And the comedians that I've been talking to just saying like, dude, you can feel it. They wanted it. So it was a mind-blowing experience. Definitely top 3 experiences I've ever had.
He is a hypocritical dickhead, and he goes on to say, oh, you never, guess what, they have Starbucks here, they have Timberland here, they have Cheesecake Factory here, just going on and on about how like great Saudi Arabia is and shit like that. It's like, bro, what the, like, how much are they paying you for this shit? How much? Because I didn't even finish that first clip where he goes on to talk about like how, whatever, doesn't matter. Now, some closing thoughts. I think anybody that participated in the event can rightfully be criticized, but the handful of dickheads I just picked out can rightfully be shunned. The guys that I pointed out really pissed me off because it seems like they're either really grifting the shit they spew or they're just like ignorant to what's going on in the world, which I doubt. I doubt they have no idea what the fuck is going on in Saudi Arabia, especially in the case of Bill Burr. But again, like, I'm aware that being in a position like mine, it's easy to wag my finger at somebody and say, you shouldn't have accepted the blood money. You shouldn't have took hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars. Shameful, shameful, shame on you. Right? Because again, like money, if the dollar is right, you'll do anything. So it's very easy for me and everyone else to criticize him all the way from here. I didn't get invited to the shit. I'm sure whoever's watching this didn't get invited to the shit. So it's easy for us to be like, oh, sellouts, blah, blah, blah. Well, okay, I guess selling out is one thing because you're literally going against what you believe in, but it's another just being a comedian in the space that doesn't give a shit about politics or what's happening IRL. You know what I mean? But getting heat online is the consequence to taking that blood money, as Bill Burr words it. And I don't think this show is like career ending for all the comedians involved. I don't think anyone on the lineup is going to have a hard time bouncing back. It's just a shame that some of these comedians are like staining their legacy like this. You feel me?